Welcome back to math class! I love it. All right. So. You know I'm going to cut that out, right? I'm going to put that in every one of my videos. All right, so here are our success criteria for today. We are still constructing, solving, and graphing functions. That is the objective of the unit. We're constructing, we're solving, we're graphing. But some of the things that you need to know for today, you got to be able to find distance between 2 points, find the midpoint between 2 points. We're going to talk about the standard form of a circle's equation, give the center radius when I give you an equation, and then we're going to convert general form of a circle to a standard form. If we get to this, that's great. If it's not, then it's going to be okay. We'll get through it together. But this last part is a little bit more intensive. The first few, I think we're going to be just fine. Please make sure you can do these. I think I'm going to start putting this at the end of the slide so we can kind of go check, 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 check. So, again, our social objective, we're looking at mathematical practice 1, I believe. We're trying to make sense of problems and, oh, somebody's here to erase my persevere. Persevere. That mathematical, thank you for not having your laptops open and where you take these notes. It always, whenever I see this mathematical practice, and I don't want to like put anybody down, but I read this article in, I think it was Japan or China, and when they give them a problem, you know how long they work on it before they ask questions?
2 days.
2 days. I don't think they wait, but I think they work on it like it was about an hour before they even ask the question. Like, as much as they're confused, they'll keep chipping at it for an hour. You know how long I wait?
Like 5 minutes.
No! No, like my rule, here's my rule, and I don't know if you guys want to take this rule, but I'll work on a problem for 5 minutes. Because after 5 minutes, you guys know how when you lose your keys, no matter what you do, you can't find them? Like, they could be in your hand, and you're just mad, because like, you just see red. That's me with math. Well, after like 5 minutes, I just stop it. I just think like, you know what, no matter what I do, I can be right and on the right track, but I still think it's wrong and throw it out. But that one, like persevering, I need to practice on that one. I need to push through and just focus here. All right, you guys ready? So here is the distance formula. The distance formula is the square root of the difference in x squared and the difference of y squared. I always tell everybody I was born too late because whoever invented the distance formulas, like,
Literally has it so easy.
they did, because all they did was steal Pythagoras' theorem. All this is Pythagoras' theorem. And I'm like, man, I could have done that, but I was born too late. A lot of the fun math, the easier math, people get credit for it and stuff. But whoever did this distance formula shouldn't have got credit. They should have just credited Pythagoras, and maybe they did, but I gotta go look it up. Like, thanks, Pythagoras. Shout out, bro. So, if you're the person that likes a formula and wants to plug values in, there you go. There's your formula. Any questions on this formula? Okay? So, here's an example. We're trying to find the distance between -1, 2, -1 comma -3 and 2 comma 3. So using our distance formula, what we're doing is we're going to subtract the two x's. So we're going to go 2 take away a -1. That quantity gets squared. And then we're going to take 2 take away a -3. And that quantity gets squared. This is our distance. So we've got 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 squared is 9. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 squared is 25. So we've got the square root of how much? 34? Right? Now 34, thank you. Malia, the vampires want you. Can this radical be simplified? Okay, I'm going to try using my upside down cake. I'm going to check. What's half of 34? 17. I can't break down 17, so this is it. The distance between those 2 points is that. Now, like I said, I do that, but I don't plug all those numbers in, I know that Pythagoras theorem is simply a squared plus b squared equals c squared, right? So, all I'm trying to find is the distance between 2 points. And you can just visualize that, right? How far apart are 2 and negative 1? They're 3 units apart, correct? You have 2 going to the right, oh sorry. Yes, 2 going to the right, and then 1 going to the left. That's going to give me a distance of 3. So I've got 3 squared plus, how far apart are these guys? Those are 6 apart? I didn't get a 6, did I?
You put 5.
No one called me out.
Yeah,
2
I
minus
noticed you
1.
did it wrong.
Right here, this should have been a 3. So which would have been 36,
And then it would have became 47.
which would have been 47.
And it's, oh, swear, 45. Oh, boy.
Oh yeah, 45. And then that one can get factored.
Yeah, that.
You can take out a 9.
Let's see here. So 45, we can divide by 5. That's going to give me 9. And then that becomes 3, 3. For every 2, I get to take one out. There we go. Thank you. So 3 radical 5. Again, if you already know the points, just put down that distance. That's really what you're looking for, right? That's why it's called the distance formula. I watched too much SpongeBob. The Krusty Krab formula. You can't have the Krusty Krab formula.
Wow. 10 out of 10. We're watching.
You guys good with this distance formula? I think you've seen it too many times already, right? Don't make me take your balloon.
Pop it right now, Mr. Munoz. Be a tiger.
So they're making the Addams Family cartoon again. You see that? It reminded me of that. And it's like, look, Ma, I found a red balloon. She's like, oh, leave that alone. They're usually attached to clowns. I was like, yeah, that's what it was. It was Murderous Clown. Like, okay, that was funny.
The IHOP menu has like a pancake for that movie. And
Really?
It's so disgusting. It has like purple frosting on it.
I like purple frosting.
Gas
It's
is
so
hell.
disgusting.
The only thing that's different is the color. It all tastes the same. It's just sugar with more sugar in it. Can I change the slide?
I mean,
You good now? All right, cool. Alrighty. Oh, what did I do? Here is the midpoint formula. The midpoint formula is so easy. All you're doing is taking the average of the 2 values. So if you have 2 coordinates, you take the average of the x's, you take the average of the y's, and there's your midpoint.
I never really realized that. Hey. I'm learning all kinds of math this year.
Yay for learning. Learning's always good. That's all you're really doing is finding the average of the 2. And that makes sense, doesn't it? When we want to find the middle of a data set, we just find the average.
Yeah, she always makes trouble.
Delicioso. Can I change the slide? All right, here we go. So we are trying to find the distance between, sorry, not the distance, the midpoint of these 2. Let's start with the x value. We're going to add the 2 x's. So 1 plus 7 divided by 2. And then we're going to find the average of the y's. 2 plus a negative 3 divided by 2. So we're going to get 8 over 2, which is 4. And then we're going to get negative 1 over 2, which is negative 1 over 2. And there, my friends, is the middle of the segment created by 1 comma 2, 7 comma negative 3.
Oh, Mr. Munoz. Now it's
Okay.
kind of.
Now, here's the next part. Do you guys remember we did, I said the distance formula is just Pythagoras theorem? Now we're going to do the definition of a circle. And then we're going to do the formula. So, circle is a set of all points in a plane that are equidistant from this fixed point called the center. The fixed distance from the circle, centers of the circle is called the radius. Guys, this is also just Pythagoras theorem. Okay? This is all just Pythagoras theorem. So we're looking at ignore this for now. Ignore that for now.
Whoa, brother.
I said it, stop. Pay attention, man. If we look at this, what it's really doing is taking x squared plus y squared. What does that equal? The radius squared. So if we're looking at, this is one that's off center, but if we just had a circle here, That's a beautiful circle. Hold on, I could do better than that. I can do better than that. Let's see here. Let's see here.
Whoa, Nelly.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, the circle was so gas that he fell on his gas.
All right, right up here. Thank you. Thank you. That's not what I meant to do. So. Thank you. Moving on. So, if I do have some point out, oh no, no shape recognition. So I do have some point out here, and what we're really doing is we're finding the distance on x for that point, and the distance on y to that point, and then of course we have our radius. We know this relationship, don't we? That's a right triangle, aka Pythagorean theorem, which is also just the formula for a circle. Okay? Now all the other stuff that you see, like the h and the k, it's just your movement. Okay? You guys remember when we did the parabola and we had x minus h, and that was our horizontal shift? Same thing here. So we're moving x in the opposite direction from here. K is our opposite as well. Notice it's inside of parentheses. So we're going to do the opposite of that, and that's going to be your up and down shift. So all you're really doing with your circles is you're making it bigger, smaller based on r, and then you're going to move it up, down, left, right, depending on h and k. And that's all that's really going on, yo. So you start to see why Pythagorean's theorem was so meaningful to the world of mathematics. It was like, man, whoa. No, I was trying to do like that commercial. You ever see that? You hear that one like, hey, did you watch the football game last night? It was like, yeah. It was like touch and then down. And it was like, yeah, like he doesn't even know what he's talking about. And it was like, yeah, because a good game is like, okay.
The longest goal ever.
Questions on formula for a circle? No questions? Go ahead. You're going to look at h and k for movement. So, yes, correct. Absolutely. So, when you move these guys, you're really looking at the center and how the center of that thing is moving. Notice the center is called HK. So whenever you move that, now it's positive HK. Remember, there's also built-in negatives into this formula as well. Okay? So if I had a formula that said, hey, x plus 2 squared plus y squared equals 4, then do I have a vertical shift here? Do I have a horizontal shift? Yes, sir. Yes. Which way? To the left. To the left. To the left. How many units? 2. And my circle has a radius of 2. So I want to start by finding where that radius, or sorry, that center is going to be at. We said there's no up or down, but there is a horizontal shift movement. I said shiftment. I want to say movement and shift at the same time, and I just blended them. So there's a shiftment. So there's my center of my circle. I now know that the radius is 2. So here's what I'll do. I'll mark my center. I'll move over 2 units this way, 2 units that way, 2 units this way, make my other part, 2 units down, and then I'll just kind of connect those the best way that I can. Okay? So just go up, down, left, right, 2 units. That should create a nice guide for you to make yourself a sketch of a circle. Okay?
Back now, y'all. One hop this time.
Now hop 2 times. There you are. What's up? The 4 is the radius. It's how big that circle is going to be. So if that, what I'll do, remember that it was a 4 before? Well, the radius is going to be squared already. So in order to find the actual radius, I have to take the square root of it. And the square root of 4 was 2. And that's why I went 2 this way, 2 that way, 2 up, 2 down. Makes sense? So if that number out there was 16, then my radius is 4. Okay? So I would go up 4, down 4, left 4, right 4. I'm getting good at that.
Honestly.
Yeah, right. One day that I get good
Yeah,
at it.
honestly.
It's hard because I have to call my left hand my right hand.
I'm waiting for one day you're gonna be like up, down, left, right.
I'm like, no, you can't do that.
Honestly.
All right, so here we go. Let's go back real quick. Are there questions on how to read this formula then? We're okay with that?
I got it.
Cool. Because what they want us to do now is to write the standard form of an equation of a circle with the center at 0, -6 that has a radius of 10. You want to try? Yes, you try. Go. Write the standard form of the equation.
Let me get my notes.
Yo.
Mr. Munoz, are you left-handed or right-handed?
I'm right-handed.
I dare you to write with your left hand the rest of the lesson.
Okay.
I'm trying to learn.
It's your education, huh?
Yeah, you've already ruined my education. Can we just stop there? Gosh.
Education.
Maybe you just shouldn't have needed me. Maybe you should just know
Pay
that.
attention, know how to do it.
Yeah, maybe that's all of you. You're just letting me cast the blame.
It is true, but
This is true.
I don't know. You gotta be real here. Oh boy. Ain't even holding it right, sir.
I don't even know how.
Well, look how you hold it with your right hand.
Well, that's what I was doing, but
Mirror
it
it
just
with
doesn't
your
show
left
right.
hand, sir.
Yeah, I've been trying to be ambidextrous.
Okay.
This is how it's going.
So here's our question. Our center is now at 0, -6. Was there a horizontal shift? Was there a horizontal shift on x? No, right? Because it's still at 0. So that should stay x squared.
Yep.
And then I want to go, yes, I want to make sure I do plus. And then I want to take a look at, did I have a shift on y?
Yes.
And I did, so I want to take away whatever value is there. And that should be, wrong way, squared. The other way.
Equals 10 squared.
Who's trying to kill me? Now my radius is 10. So what do I need to put here? 100 because it's 10 squared. Now, the only thing I need to do to fix this, negative times a negative becomes a positive. So right here, I should have a +6. So there's my formula. Go ahead, Lily. Where's your question at?
So that's the standard.
Okay, so here's what I want. Let me do this one more time. Let's do this one more time, okay? So I should have x minus something squared, y minus something squared equals something squared, right?
Okay.
And then I just plug everything in.
It's a 0, so it's nothing.
So this is a 0, this is a -6, this is a 10, correct? So if you want to do that, that's cool. Now, x minus 0 is still just x, so that stays x squared. And then over here, I'm going to have to do bleh. I'm going to have to do the y. Negative negative makes the positive 6 squared. And then 10 squared is 100.
So that's like.
This is the standard form of the circle. This is the one we prefer because it's easier to kind of, yeah. I find the center, go out to the radius distance, and then we're good to go. All right. Now get ready, because here comes a question, and I'm just going to pick somebody because I didn't turn on my computer. So I'm going to give you a formula, and I want you to, I'm going to have two questions. The question is, where's the center? Where's the center? And the other question, Ms. Mills, will be, what is the radius here? Okay? So, center, and then another question will be radius. You guys ready? Here we go. So here's your formula.
I got you. No.
Where is the center?
Yeah, it would be
And what is the radius?
already done.
It shouldn't take long at all.
Oh, okay, that's
Don't show your answer, dude.
Don't chew your answer.
God, Mr. Williams out here training me to be Isaac Newton Jr. Something, dude. Yes, sir. We're gonna be changing light bulbs. Exploding.
Avery,
I've been drawing.
where's my center?
-3.
Whoa, 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 what? Where's my center? Avery. Ah, darn it, I couldn't get you. I just switched back all like automatically. I didn't even think about it. Good job. Fantastic.
You're not even bad at it. Like, my hand's too shaky to write anything.
Cool beans. Avery, pick somebody. Sweet revenge. Oh, go ahead, Jake. The radius is 2?
Yeah. Stop looking at me like that.
Are you sure it's not the square root of 4?
Even I say it's
Wait,
No, it's 2. You would have a black hole if that was a radius of -2. All right, cool. Good job. Square root of 4, 2. Moving on. To graph this, please don't spend like ridiculous amounts of time trying to do that. Where's the center at, peeps?
-3, +1.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So here, and then I'm going to go up 1, right? And then to do that from there, how many do I go each direction? 2 units. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2. Beautiful. All right, cool. I want to get to the last part. Oh, we already did that. Why am I repeating the same problem over and over and over? That's insanity, man. Okay, now, bad news. Because that's really easy, right? Center, figure out the radius. You're not going to get the formula that way all the time. They're going to give it to you the way we would do a polynomial, right? You have everything here, and the whole thing is equal to how much? 0. And that's not good times. You're going to have to convert it yourself. You're going to have to convert it yourself. Do you guys remember this process from last year called completing the square?
I don't remember.
You are going to do it twice. Once for x and once for y. Now, please watch me do it. If there are questions, you can ask them. Then there we go. Thank you. Thank you. So, here is the equation of a circle. It's in form. We want to change it into that standard form. So here's what I'm going to do. For starters, I'm going to group my x's as x squared plus 4x. And I'm going to leave a space there. You know what that's for, right? When I do actually complete the square. And then I'm going to have y squared minus 4y space squared is equal to, I'm going to kick that over now. That's cool with you guys? This guy is just on the other side now. This is what I want my first part to look like. Please don't write this down, just watch me do it. Once I'm done, then you can copy to your heart's content. What's up, Lily?
Do you square it and divide by 2?
We don't square, we're going to half it. Remember that? So what I'm going to do at this point, can I get a thumbs up on this first? Or down, depends where you're at. Okay. Serious? Okay. So all I did was group my x's. See that? Here's my x squared and 4x, and then my y squared with my minus 4y, and then the constant got kicked over. Because I don't want constants on this side, it's going to mess up the process of me actually doing this completing of the square. Okay? Now, the completing the square process itself is really easy. Okay? I'm going to take the square root of that, well, just x. I want half of this value, which is 2. Okay? Now, realize this. Was that hard? That wasn't hard, right? But I want you to realize this. If I was going to multiply this out, because it's a perfect square, I would end up with x squared plus 4x plus 4. Right? Well, what am I doing here? That shouldn't be squared. I lied. Who? Yeah. Thank you. These guys get squared. Now, look at this. Does this match that? No. What's not? What's missing? So I need to complete the square. So I'm going to add 4 here. But I've just added something to one side of the equation. I need to balance it on this side by adding 4 over here as well. Okay? We're good? Now, I'm going to complete the square here again. I want my y, half of this bad boy, -2, quantity squared. Now, when I expand this, I'm going to get y squared minus 4x plus 4. What was missing here? This 4, isn't it? So, thanks. I started with y's. I'm just so used to doing x's. So I've added another 4 to this left side. I need to add it on the other side as well. So now, let me get rid of this because this is just me showing you what's going on. I've completed the squares, and over here I've got 9. And there, my friends, is the formula in standard form. That's it. Hold on, you guys are okay with that?
Yeah.
Hold on. You were whining about one time completing the square, and we did it twice?
Yeah.
And we were good?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Cool. There you go.
Whoa, fella, hold on.
I love you, Rosa, and never like disrespect him.
We're trying to complete the square, big fella, right? So we got x squared plus 4x plus a little, right? No, we gotta fill that hole in. So we got x squared plus 4x, right?
That's fine. I didn't even answer 2 questions, and I still have to like it. I didn't answer 2 questions.
Yeah, so you got x plus 2.
Sounds like we're good with this problem. Can I get rid of it? So I want to throw another one up here for you. X squared, y squared.
How are we gonna do it?
Yeah, this is for you.
I'm gonna do it. Just
One of these days it's gonna pop.
Okay, here you go.
Wait, I can't get my pen out of my child.
It's going to burst, you mean.
Out of my child. I hate.
Mr. Munoz,
What's
you dropped my child.
What's up?
Stomp on it.
I listen to all music except for gospel.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. I chose the bad at it.
It's crazy that you say that. Gospel is actually my favorite. Oh, the church music?
Yeah. Like I used to say gospel in country, but like even now, like this newer country has a pop swang to it kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's got people don't call it. Some people say that's not real country. I'm like, hey, you know what? You got the accent for it. You know what I'm talking about? Down in the countryside. Yeah, they got that. You know what I'm talking about?
I get it. I know it.
Yeah, they kind of like elongate the word somehow. I got friends in the Louis place. Okay, that's just classic though.
My favorite country song.
Yeah, that's a classic country song.
That was actually the first album country that I listened to. So there was this guy that we went to fix his stereo. He had stuck CD in there. And so I took it apart and got the CD out, put it back together, it was good to go. It was working. And he said, you can keep the CD. And I'm like, all right, I don't know what it is. So it was Garth Brooks.
So wait, I see the on my lap. I see him in concert.
Thunderbolt.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I see him in concert.
You're supposed to.
Did you see the concert where this lady in the front row had cancer?
I'm almost.
At the end of his concert, the last song, he signed the guitar and gave it to her.
That sounds like something you would
Because his mom had cancer. So he just stopped it like there and just signed it.
You know, he's retired now. He doesn't make any more music. He's not on tour anymore. I got 9. He's trying to raise.
You ever listen to Chris Gaines?
I have not.
Yes, you have. You just don't know.
I probably have.
I gotta. Once we're done, I'm gonna show you something real quick.
I think I did it. Computer to explain some shit. So I got report you guys. I got it. It can't be negative. You should have added the squares at 49 right now. Yeah, you should have added the squares. So you should have added 47 and subtracted 36. But that was still leaving yourself present. Oh. No. No.
Negative.
Yeah, no, I know.
Paul added 37.
Always remember this. That's number 6. Hot that number. Because it's furry.
It equals something. I know that.
You good? Look, is it?
So it should be 81.
Yeah, absolutely. Whoa, wait a minute.
Oh, it's 81.
So 81. Yeah, subtract 36. You add 37.
This is hard. You're good. My bad. Because now it's a binary. So
You just messed up my star. That's your right with your left hand. Right with your left hand. Well, that's
okay, good. So put some more spaces in there. Put some more spaces in there. That's where you're gonna put the. Here we go. So I want to combine all my x stuff, all my y stuff. Make sure that you do have that plus in there, because if you're missing it, that means you're multiplying, and you really don't want to go into that and make that worse for yourself, okay? So I'm going to combine my x's, and then a space, put my y's together, and then my space, and then what's going to get kicked over? A -4 now, right? Because it was positive here, it goes over there. Now here's the hard part. Something squared plus something squared equals what's going to be at the end. So x, half of 14?
7.
Square 7.
49.
Positive 49. Got to balance it.
Plus 49.
Okay. Y, half of -12. Square that.
Positive
Balance it out. And then when I combine everything,
81, sir.
and there it is. Dun dun dun. Okay.
So it stays like.
Any other questions? How are we feeling about that? Fist to 5. Fist to 5. 5 I can teach someone. 4 I got it. Fist I lost. Good. Cool beans. Alright, cool. That's it. I'm done. If you need to go back and check the recording, is there an outro somewhere?
Please no. Bye guys. Oh my God.
Is there an outro?